name is Lika and I'm a refugee from Ukraine. 2 days ago I had to leave my city, house and my country because of the Russian aggression and Putin's bombs that destroy everything. A week ago I was a face on the covers of art and fashion magazines of Ukraine. I owned 2 galleries, one working with emerging artists and the other one working with established artists of Ukraine. Now the galleries are ruined, the works are damaged, and the artists suffer in bomb shelters. I have started the NFT gallery to help our cultural heritage, to help our artists, and the humanitarian needs of the people of Ukraine and the army. All big cities, are bombed. We are on war. Within 5 days, I gathered the works of our people. They paint in shelters. They scream for help by their art. They ask for support by their images. For most of them, this is the only way to survive mentally, because they can concentrate on something they can control, and these are their talents. All that they can do is helping by making art. You can help. By buying these NFTs, you can help. You can help our artists as they will not have the opportunity to sell their works. We divide the incomes between the artists and the humanitarian needs of the people of Ukraine and the army. Here you can see the art made in shelters, children art, and photos of the physical works that have been destroyed. Please choose one and buy it. Please choose 2. You can help. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Anna Parks. I'm a Ukrainian national currently in the United States. I work with Lika Spivakovska to help spread awareness about precious artworks that were destroyed during the attacks in Ukraine, and introduce the new art that was created only a few days ago, even today, by Ukrainian artists and children while taking refuge in the bomb shelters. For many years, our country has been struggling to get her true independence. We had corrupt politicians that we had to overthrow. The strings would pull tighter together every time we became one step closer to a true democracy. Today we're being attacked for daring to be free. But we're not in fear. We are wounded, but we're not in fear. Each Ukrainian right now feels so much love and support from you, as well as the rest of the world. Our children right now are hiding in the cold cellars. Our women are giving birth on the subway stations. Our men and soldiers are fighting every day for our freedom and for our lives. We have children that lost both parents. Our historical monuments are being destroyed to rubble. Please help us to support us and help us to rebuild our culture, our spirits, our lives, and our community by supporting this beautiful cause. Thank you very much. Or how we say in Ukraine, дякую, дякую.
Welcome to the Lighthouse Gallery. We're here for a very special opening. Lighthouse has not officially opened yet. We have our grand opening and our launch later this month, but we have a special request from a partner gallery in the Ukraine to open a show that benefits the families who are in need right now during the war. So we have displayed NFTs that have been made by artists from around the Ukraine, including children. We have some works that are from kids who are 9, even 7 and 13 years old. And we have works from artists who have been in bomb shelters and who have been affected by the war. So we get to see what is happening through their eyes, and it's a really incredible opportunity for us to be able to help. We produced a video for Ukraine and really just showing the beauty of the Ukraine, what's there, all of the historical buildings. It's such a beautiful country, and we have, this video is actually projection mapped on our wall, but it also is an NFT. So you can literally buy the wall and you can support the Ukraine. We have some works that have been specifically minted just for the Lighthouse Gallery. And we have others that came from galleries in the Ukraine. Like this piece is an oil painting, and the original piece was destroyed, likely by a bomb, but they had a photo of it and they have a record. So now they digitized it and turned it into an NFT. So we can see some of the beautiful works of art that will never be able to be recovered. And this is a great opportunity for an exclusive piece that also benefits the Ukraine. We have artists that have been creating artworks in memory. This one's in memory of her grandmother. And we have others that are statements in the political world or in the war. And it's really a big variety of art because it's all of the artists all over the place within the Ukraine. We even have some drawings like this one from some kids that are really just affected right now. So we digitize these, turn them into NFTs, and allow people to purchase them, and the crypto goes directly to the families and also the military that are doing humanitarian efforts in the Ukraine. So the beautiful thing about NFTs and about blockchain technology is that we get to see exactly where the money flows. So we're able to see where your donation goes and directly where the wallets are that take it. And one of the other things that has happened, very unfortunately, within the Ukraine is right now everyone's bank account has been held and seized. So this is a way for people to get access to finances that otherwise are having trouble accessing even their own money. You can find the Lighthouse NFT Gallery here in beautiful Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're one of the first physical digital art galleries in the world. I like to call it a brick and pixel because you can also find us online. OpenSea is where most of the NFTs are, and you can find us at lighthousenftgallery.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Guys, thank you to the Pierce family for quickly jumping into action. With that, guys, I'm gonna introduce David Namdar, and he's going to introduce the other gentleman.
Thank you, Isaac. I'm here in Crystal's stead, and I'll try to do my best to represent Lighthouse Gallery because Brock and Crystal are just dear friends of mine. They're really two of the people most responsible for me being down here in Puerto Rico. And so anything I can do.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, of course. No, I think I would say the same for, I'm sure, many of the other people here in this audience. And really, like, anything I can do to support their efforts, both as, just being pioneers as entrepreneurs and in their philanthropic efforts. And so I saw what Crystal had done with her vision for the Lighthouse and really being the first ever NFT gallery in the world. And, she's been holding, like she had said in the video, she's been hosting a couple of events there. It hasn't officially launched yet, but at the same time, I was at Art Basel in Miami in December of last year, and what she did and what she's done so far with the Lighthouse Gallery has just kind of blown away any of the other NFT things that were happening at Art Basel. So with that, I was happy to introduce Sergei and Vladimir. Now, you called them my team. I'd be honored if they were my team, but actually they're more like two of my closest Ukrainian brothers. And so Sergei has been working on a new protocol in the space called Waterfall with some of the others here on the island. And Vladimir has been a part of a number of other, really a pioneer, and had a large development shop and been working on a lot of early stage crypto projects based in Ukraine. And so I have really kind of special and emotional ties with both of them, but I want to let them kind of introduce themselves and just kind of introduce their journey and how they got to here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sergii Grybniak, and I'm originally from Ukraine. I was born in Odessa. I moved to United States like around 10 years ago. Pretty much all my professional life was connected to software development, like building and promoting various projects. One of the projects where I was like a founding team member was acquired by one of the top 10 banks in the US. I also in crypto since 2017. I pretty much what I do is actually develop blockchain infrastructure. So one of the first layer 2 solutions for Ethereum was developed by my company, and first Plasma Cache repository on GitHub was also ours. Currently I work on my PhD research on the topic of directed acyclic graph based protocols, and Waterfall is actually stems on this research. Also, I was recently appointed as a co-chair of IEEE Ukraine blockchain section, and yeah, that's what I do. I'll pass it to
Awesome.
Vlad.
Yeah, it deserves a hand of applause, guys. Yes, for sure.
So, hey guys, and thank you, Namdar, for inviting me here. So, my name is Volodymyr Karyshev. I mean, I didn't live in the US before. I just came to the ETH Denver and accidentally became a war refugee. You know, this thing happens. So I am in crypto for more than 5 years, and overall in blockchain development for actually more. And we have a big dev shop in Kharkiv, the city which is most currently attacked by the most literally obliterated. 3 years ago, we started a company called Global Ledger, and our idea was to make crypto clean out of the politics, dirty money. It was an IML system. 5 months ago, we sold it to the Swiss banking group, and now we're using this system to track out of the Web3 all the politics, dirty oligarch Russian money, because I truly believe that Web3 is a new kind of economy, and there is no place for dirty money here. I mean, literally, I believe, and I always say this, that Web2 caused this conflict, but Web3 is solving it. And when the governments are acting as a very actually shitty middleman, Web3 was always about cutting off the middleman. And from my point, I need to say thank you all of you guys here, and thanks to Puerto Rico community, because first 3 days I was feeling surreal, mental, I nearly got mental, but thanks to these people, thanks to Namdar, thanks to Nehemiah, thanks to all these people that I really feel family, I don't feel like refugee anymore. I feel like that there is a home here, and from all of Ukrainians, I need to say you thank you. Really, we will never forget this, and we will never forget the help that Web3 is helping the Ukraine, really. Many of the projects have Web3 developers in Ukraine, Meta Labs, Near Protocol, Distributed Labs, 1inch, Everstake, and I mean, maybe I'm a little bit emotional, but while my city is currently destroyed, I feel that thanks to all of you people and thanks to the connections that is happening now, we will rebuild it, and we will make Ukraine something actually way, way better, and Web3 is a great help in this. So from all of Ukrainians and from me personally, I need to thank you, all of you guys, and thank you, Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Thank you, brother, for being here. Welcome. Ain't nothing better than feeling the love. I couldn't only imagine what you guys are going through. Do you want to read what was on the back of there, real quick, before we get into some questions?
Okay, so I think Crystal touched on a lot of this, but just to read something that she had sent, just to make sure we cover it. So the Lighthouse NFT Gallery partnered with a Ukrainian art curator and now a war refugee, Lika Spivakovska. That was the first woman who was speaking in the video, and her gallery in Kiev, Ukraine, to mint NFTs of art created by Ukrainian artists in the chronicles of the war. The collection includes works from artists and children in bomb shelters and NFTs made of photos from works of art that were destroyed. All of the proceeds directed to the Ukrainian artists and their families affected by war and supporting the humanitarian war relief efforts by the army in Ukraine. The videos of both have explained a bit what happened. And then just to add, I guess, a little bit, really, when we had an event at the Lighthouse on Thursday of this week, and just to see the chain, one of the things I really, with bringing these guys up here and with showing those videos, is just to show kind of how quickly things have mobilized, but also this human side of what's going on. We're all very fortunate. We're sitting here in Puerto Rico in our own paradise. We're actually, one of the special things here is we're all putting our hands on the land and kind of doing our parts to help grow and build by bringing people here, by starting companies, by kind of affecting the landscape around us, building our dream homes, building our dream lives, right? Ukraine, I was very fortunate. I've been fortunate in my life. I have a ton of very close friends in from Ukraine, from Russia, from all over, kind of a former USSR. And I got to go to Ukraine for the first time ever in January, and Vladimir and I met for the first time there, and he took me around on a couple of walks around Kiev that he was just so, like, one of the sweetest, most genuine human beings ever, to show me that side of the city that I would never otherwise see. And so, I thought that was very special. That's something that bonded us for life. But at the same time, to have, I feel, again, very fortunate in kind of a just sad way that, like, I was able to see it. And all the people, all that we were hanging out with, all of our friends there, had no idea that it could escalate to this, and just how quickly life has changed forever. Right now, this is something that, being Jewish, kind of being like, who had parents coming from the Holocaust and knowing many others, that, like, this is something that's going to scar, right, people and generations for the next 3, 4, 5 generations to come. Hopefully nothing escalates from here, but we're all doing our part around the world to actually realize just how important this is to support Ukraine and to support what's going on there. And so,
thank you. That's amazing. I was at the event on Thursday, and one of the things that touched me was that they literally had children doing art and in the bomb shelters that were being minted as we were at the event. I thought that was really touching and really cool that we were able to move so fast, like you said. Sergei, what were some of the things you wanted to explain about how crypto was affecting Ukraine and the things that it was doing? Because I believe it raised right now 64 million. You were saying in a whole global contribution.
Yeah, I wanted actually to share a couple of ways how people can contribute and to share some, some previous experience which already happened. So, if you can turn on the slide with the Twitter screenshot. So,
guys, if you want to take a picture, if you want to take a picture of this real quick or whatever before it goes into the other loop, go ahead.
So this is actually a tweet from official Twitter of Ukraine. You can find it there by inputting at Ukraine and go and scroll down. You will find it there, and this is the way how you can contribute and support. So so far they collected more than $64 million. From around 120,000 contributors. They're actually meant to be airdrop, and I can say that, by amount of contributors, it would have reached pretty significant level of decentralization, but they gave up this idea. I was able to contact Ministry of Innovation, and they said that they are considering plans of launching the NFT and in support of the Ukrainian armed forces. I suggest you actually to sign up for these updates, because this is actually a historic event. The same way, Brock is a candidate of Brock Pierce as a candidate. President candidate in the United States received the first in history vote on blockchain. This is kind of like this is also like a historic event when blockchain actually helps to fight freedom, when blockchain helps to protect those who are in the need, and it allows to establish Ukraine actually like an outpost right now in Europe. This is the largest war which is happening in Europe since World War II. So please turn on the next slide. So you can sign up to Twitter at Ukraine, and you can find these wallet addresses and contribute through this. You can also contribute on the website Razom for Ukraine. This is so far largest nonprofit foundation in US who supports Ukraine. It is founded by Ukrainians. They send humanitarian help to Ukraine. There is also a community which allows to contribute to some war equipment like head and body armor. There is the big part of this war is actually is connected to the informational war, because what happens that captured soldiers in Ukraine, they share that they were not aware what is actually happening, because they were told a very different story, which is very different from reality. And this initiative, like supportukraine2020.com, you can contribute to the informational warfare, basically to raise awareness in Russia among citizens, among those who actually who join armed forces, because they think that they are fighting evil. But in fact, again, it's very hard for me. I'm trying to make it emotionally neutral, but it appears that they are actually evil themselves, and they shot to cities. They do this, and they acknowledge this. There are already numerous videos when they acknowledge this, that they are doing wrong things, and this could be like a contribution to this digital warfare, to raise awareness there. They use it is run by professional people in digital marketing, so they are using different channels how to inform as much as possible, because we believe that this war should be the victory in this war. There is actually no victory in this war, but this war could end if people inside of Russia are well aware of what is happening and have clear picture of the reality. Yeah, this is probably it from my end. I will give it to Vladimir.
Yeah, guys, and once more, really thank you for gathering for all of this. And Sergei exactly mentioned there are actually the different ways how to help Ukraine. There are direct ways of donations. What you can do, you can buy NFTs. You can spread the information, and spreading the information among your friends, families and so on. We have already a lot of people coming from America to support Ukraine, and I really need to say that in America I felt so much support of Ukraine that even taxi drivers, when they knew that I am from Ukraine, even the stewardess, and when I was flying here, I was completely mental when I was flying here in Puerto Rico, because they started to literally bomb the place near our office in Kharkiv, and they helped me a lot. So I'm at first really thankful to American people and Puerto Rican people specifically, because everyone who I meet support Ukraine. And there are actually another way how to support Ukraine. All of our teams, Ukraine was one of the biggest development communities in the world. Our teams are other evacuated. Part of my co-founders are personally fighting in the Kharkiv. Part of my team are literally me is helping to logistic to Kharkiv and logistic Ukraine. Part of my co-founders are physically fighting on a front line with Russian invaders. And guys, there are the ways how you can also help Ukraine. Work with Ukrainian projects, work with Ukrainian teams, invest in Ukrainian teams. We will be spread it all over the world. Some of them won't have a good internet now. Sorry for this, but buy Ukrainian digital products, buy Ukrainian NFTs. The next couple years, we will definitely win the war. We're already winning. We literally won this war as soon as the first Russian soldier entered our land, because this is our land. They are fighting. We are fighting on our own land, and we will win. There is no doubt. The next years will be really hard. The rebuilding of the country, we will win, but the cost will be hard. So invest in Ukrainian projects, work with Ukrainian teams, buy our digital products. We will need any kind of help that you can have. And once more, I never felt so much proud that I'm Ukrainian, during my whole life. And at the same point, I never felt so much support from all of the people. And I really need to thank you for this. Because our country is really far away from here, thousands of kilometers. But I feel here like home. And thank you once more, guys. Really thank you.
Awesome. You want to say something else? You want to say something else? Yeah, go ahead, please. Please. Make sure your mic's on.
I think it's on. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So first of all, I just want to kind of emphasize and highlight to everyone really how fortunate we are to have both of these guys here healthy. Sergei didn't share yet, but Sergei was in Ukraine less than a week and a half ago, and he was able to coordinate to get his team out, and he can tell you a little bit more about that adventure. But something I just want to point out, kind of just in the context of everyone here, and
Speak into the mic, please.
as we're learning about crypto and looking for opportunities, and over the years, having been involved in the space a long time, getting asked about, all right, Bitcoin as an inflation hedge, and everyone was worried about with the fall in the equity markets and the effect that it's had on the overall crypto markets and the recent drawdown that we're seeing, right? And so I try to always provide a lot of perspective and interesting insights to people to just help kind of more and more people enter the space and see and view it the right way. Now, Ukraine, I had highlighted just recently, was actually the second country in the world to legalize Bitcoin. And they just did. They voted on it back in September. They just did it in the last couple of weeks. A lot of people are paying attention to all the important things that are happening in the world with MicroStrategy and with, doing it for corporates, with El Salvador, and going back to Brock and Crystal leading a lot of the efforts with Honduras, with a lot of other smaller countries, that a lot of people within the crypto space are planting the seeds to further Bitcoin and crypto legalization around the world. There was a number put out, and I don't have the updated ones, that Ukrainian government officials owned 46,000 Bitcoin, right? That's about $1.5 to $2 billion. That's reported, right? So in general, in the crypto space, if they're reporting that much, maybe you could assume that they have 2 or 3 times that unreported. So that means the government officials in Ukraine alone owned $5 to $6 billion, maybe more of crypto. It's safe to bet that the rest of the citizens, the entrepreneurs, all of the others, may have 20 to 50 billion would be a reasonable estimate. In Russia, same thing, that somewhere between 10 and 25, maybe as high as 50 to 100 billion of crypto assets are held by Russians. So between those two countries, some portion of them, probably in the magnitude of 50 to a couple 100,000, maybe in the millions, has already had their lives dramatically changed because they've gotten into and adopted crypto over the last couple of years. All of the entrepreneurs that Vlad and Sergey have been working with, all of the investors, everybody in those countries that have had their eyes open to crypto have had their lives dramatically changed. And what that leads to now is that the total amount is somewhere between, call it 3-4 at the low end, maybe as high as 7-8% of the total crypto market held between Ukraine and Russia, that now all of the people that have seen their savings disappear, right? If I had more time, I would have pulled up the charts. I'm sure everyone knows the price of Bitcoin and Ether today, but does everyone know the price of Bitcoin and Ether in rubles?
What is it?
Ether is about 400,000 rubles and Bitcoin's 5 million rubles.
Wow.
Right? And so all-time lows in the value of ruble has driven that. What that means is Bitcoin and Ether are actually at all-time highs today in the ruble. Right? And so, at different points in different crypto cycles, people start to realize that you're not just looking at things in US dollar terms. US dollar, fortunately, is still the strongest, if not one of the strongest, if not the strongest currency in the world, so we don't have to worry about that. Right? But in a lot of other countries, when they see what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, that's going to lead tens of millions of other people there to look at crypto as a savior, right? And to look at really the value, like in a short period of time, what it's done for a lot of the citizens.
So they're no longer going to look at it as for the mobsters and the drug dealers.
Right.
Now it's helping and saving lives. And
exactly. And then a super important point that these guys touched on was or that Sergey brought up, Ukraine is, I believe, the first country to officially put an Ethereum address, welcoming the world to send money to them and acknowledging that Ethereum is something that can be used to receive money from people around the world. Right? That's a historic moment. Like, we're going to look back on this in the months and years ahead as we rebuild Ukraine, as we have all the charity that comes from around the world. We're going to look back at this and say, Ukraine has actually been one of the most important pioneering countries in embracing cryptocurrencies. And actually, when we look at and think about a lot of the ideas are being floated around war bonds and other things, a lot of the development efforts, right, as Vlad was saying about being, Web3 being the savior, I'm willing to bet that a lot of the reconstruction and financing that's going to happen is going to take place through DeFi and through a lot of the things led by kind of crypto investors from all over the world.
I mean, exactly, I totally agree with Namdar, and I wanted exactly to about the crypto adoption, because I was one of the guys who was involved in this. So I was advisor of the Ministry of Digital Transformation, and we formed a group. So literally the current crypto law that was made in Ukraine was made by my friends, and it came through the couple iterations, and just before war started, it was officially signed with the president, which made Ukraine one of the few countries who officially legalized digital assets. And through the point the first miner was made in Ukraine. So there is a company called Bitfury, and before Bitfury, the they were they've been mining on the video cards. But the first actually miner was made by the engineer in Kiev. So I mean, if you're who are in crypto for a long time, remember there were a very crazy time when Ukraine for actually couple weeks had a 50+% of the network, because most of the crypto was, a lot of Bitcoin was mined in a factory near Kiev by my friends actually. So the founders of Bitfury, guys who made engineers, what the junior engineer called Sergei Ivanov, who made, who understand how to make a mining more efficiently. So Ukraine and crypto are very well connected, and we had a crazy adoption, a lot of conferences, Near Foundation, a lot of the family of the whole Near Foundation is in Kharkiv, the Bitfury, Kiev, so Metro Labs, Kiev, Scale Network, Kharkiv, 1inch, Distributed Labs. A lot of the companies are from Ukraine. Literally CTOs in many companies like Lido, Everstake, biggest staking providers. Literally Ukrainian engineers were fueling the Web3 with our own blood, and you can barely find any Web3 project where you don't have either Ukrainian CTO or Ukrainian engineer or Ukrainian team and so on. And so this is the point. Ukraine had a very big crypto adoption always. In every city you can find crypto exchange and so on, and policy was political, was very very grateful, very loyal to crypto. And our current digital transformation minister was on a connection with literal. This is the reason why Gavin Wood and all the top guys, why Vitalik, because we already before they connected with him. And Ukrainian was very Binance was working. So Binance made a special program of digital education in Ukraine. So I would say Ukraine is one of the pioneering, because Salvador is a very important place, and but Salvador is a little bit small country. We have a 45 million country with one of the highest crypto adoption in the world. So literally I can definitely name Ukraine as a crypto country. And I would say that I'm pretty sure, and I totally agree with Namdar, that in the future rebuilding of the country, the direct donation of the one people to another and direct donation of Ukraine from, let's say, blockchains and blockchain foundations will play a huge role. So Solana Foundation, Polkadot Foundation, Ethereum Foundation, literally people that sometimes don't too much like each other in a normal way, they all gathered to help Ukraine. And I think, because I truly think that crypto is about uniting people, this is a very good example how crypto can actually change the world. Because crypto, believe me, I personally received donations from many people around the world on crypto, and this money, it changed people's lives. It makes people get food. It made people get medicals. It made some soldiers get armor. So crypto actually changed the life of the people, and it will have a very long consequences. Believe me, after this conflict, many people around the world will look in crypto in a different way. And I really actually proud of two things, that I'm Ukrainian and I'm part of the Web3, because while many governments acted as a slow something, Web3 acted as a one united mechanism, and I've never been so proud that I'm in crypto as now, really. So thanks to crypto.
Awesome.
I wanted also to provide the insight on the level of adoption. 40% of Ukrainian suppliers of armed forces are actually transferred to accepting crypto. And to the previous, basically there are currently a program for, not like a program, but an activity that people are actually booking some properties on Airbnb and not going there. And this is the way how they support people in Ukraine. So they basically, they're giving the money this way. But I do believe that donating money through crypto may be actually more better way to do that, because these people who are booking these properties, they in a sense are affecting logistics of those people who are traveling in Ukraine. I can say when I was meeting people who are crossing the border, I was articulating a similar type of logistics, and I can say that it is very hard sometimes we had to move the same people to the different locations because there was literally no places to stay, and with crypto, yeah, this goes just direct donation to whatever cause you may choose, and better maybe no fees, and straight away.
I, for one, am grateful that you guys are here. I remember when I heard that Russia had made their move, the first person I thought of was you, Sergei, and I immediately text you, and then the next thing that I did was, I'm a man of faith, and I got on the phone with my grandmother, and she had her whole church praying for you guys, and they continue to pray for Ukraine, and you got a brother here. You guys definitely have family here on the island. Okay, let's. You want to open it up, or you want to?
Yeah, I guess before we
please.
open it up, I guess just the one thing, just to, because of for the Lighthouse NFT gallery and everything. So if you scan the QR code, it links to an OpenSea link. You can see an auction that takes place with all the different art by the Ukrainian artists and some of the children. The auction's taking place until 6 p.m. tomorrow. I haven't bid on anything yet. I've been waiting to give everyone else a chance. I'm going to bid on some stuff later tonight. I know George, one of the youngest guys here, told me he's winning right now the auction for 2 or 3 of the pieces. So yeah, get involved. If anybody needs help figuring out how to do that, we're happy to help you figure it out.
Guys, and the bidding auctions on some of these paintings really are not that expensive, right? They start, I believe, at $250, right? 0.1 ETH. Let's do our part. You know what I mean? Let's give our brothers and sisters a helping hand from here, right from the island. That thing is like, somebody want to help me out with this mic over here? You want to, somebody? Be my Vanna White, please. Got you. You got blonde hair, too.
Question about tracking your donations, either through Waterfall Protocol or the Global Edge, or either one of those give us the ability to track the donations?
Push the button. They go off, they're sensitive. No.
So yeah, crypto allows actually Waterfall Protocol sadly is not yet providing this this functionality, but it will soon, as soon as we are launching the mainnet, and probably we will also be able to do that maybe a little earlier. We're currently working on this, but yeah, generally the nature of crypto allows to track the expenses, and there was also announced in the news that like certain percentage of the a particular percentage of the funds collected by Ukrainian government went to armed forces, and this is what they actually need, because currently the amount of troops entered Ukraine is actually more than the amount of Ukrainian troops, and obviously they have more armor, etc. No one expected. I can tell this. When I was living in Ukraine, this type of event was not literally possible. So this plan of Putin could have happened, like with this blitzkrieg attempt to capture the entire Ukraine, to conquer the entire Ukraine, could have been successful. But what currently world is witnessing is unprecedented event, because Ukraine is literally fighting like the second largest and more and armed, second largest and strongest army in the world, and they actually stay, and they need this support, and eventually yes, this is crypto allows this opportunity first to donate exactly there you would like to donate, and second, track how it was spent, and yeah, that's what crypto introduced. Would you like to provide?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, for example, when we say the help of the military forces, you need to understand that the military forces now consist of the IT specialists, cosplayers, SMM specialists, designers, and so on, like actors. Literally everybody, all the common people, came to this is actually one of the reasons that we stand for by now, that like they didn't capture even like small, they didn't capture even Kharkiv, because all of our country, 45 million, are fighting, and each on their front. And this is the point, like, so like when you help Ukraine, you help all the people, and this is the point, like in the army now, there are my co-founders, we sold our project 4 months ago, and half of them are actually now on the front line, and they're all top high-class IT specialists. So this is exactly what it's about. Like our army is about the people, and like we don't divide people and army. And this is our army is the only reason why we have not more casualties, because our army, by the cost of their life, saved the life of civilians, and this is what's happening exactly in this second. So yeah, I totally agree with Sergei.
You kind of just answered the question I was going to ask, but maybe you can elaborate on it further a little bit. When I got involved in this, the saying "Bitcoin not bombs" was a very common phrase. Bitcoin not bombs, and I was a little internally conflicted when it was like, now we want Bitcoin so we can buy more bombs, in a sense, to protect ourselves. Obviously, we're talking about armor and defensive measures and things like that, but that was that conflict I was personally having, saying we want to raise money, and Bitcoin in particular, to pay for war. In this case, a defensive war for the Ukrainians, but it's like, it's very difficult. We all know propaganda, this, that, and the other, to know what's true. And I'm just wondering, can you elaborate for someone like myself who's concerned and conflicted, saying, do I really want to use Bitcoin to support more war, even if it, I believe I'm on the right side, but how can we always know? Like, what are your thoughts on this, like using Bitcoin to support this war, even if it's, as you said, to protect, women and children is what it sounds like. But you guys have just came from there, so you can give us the truest answer for anyone else who's feeling that concern. Should I use my Bitcoin for supporting an army?
Oh, easy. I can say like this. So, do you want to use your Bitcoin to stop Russian bombs on killing children? Yes? No. This is the only answer. Because currently, the Bitcoin is used by the army, let's say anti-air defense. So if this rocket won't hit the Russian airplane, this airplane will drop a bomb, and this bomb will kill the children. So it's your choice. No. I mean, I will never ever suggest you anything. It's your personal choice. But when you having this moral dilemma, this is the only question. In World War II, there were like people who are defensive and offensive. So if you're simply for peace, sorry, not here, but like currently our people are defending the life of their families, of my family. My family is currently in Odessa. Odessa was literally first day bombed by the Russian troops, and only anti-air system, as you say, bomb, protected my family from being obliterated in a death. So if the question for you is save children or make them, no question.
Next question. One more, and then we'll close out so we can get to next question. Nobody? Awesome. Guys, please, Lighthouse, thank you to the Pierce family for creating this event, for hosting this event, for thinking quick on their feet and helping all the Ukraine families over there. Help me thank our guests tonight. Thank you, Enzo, for participating earlier. Please, guys, it is crucial that we do our part, and if you need any more information, pull one of us aside after, and we could give you whatever knowledge we have. If not, get you to someone who can. Thank you for coming out tonight, guys. Let's stand together. Thank you for being such a beautiful Puerto Rico, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening networking.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for your support.